ain't murder cats, they journal facts, and you learn the facts. If you try to go and spread the truth, they'll try to put you in a body bag. Puppeteers, the ones fearing, I ain't giving y'all no subliminal. Country that we're living in is ran by war criminals. America's a terrorist, I stare into his eyes. The devil's in the television wearing a disguise. Journalists, they tell the truth, their life it gets lost. Ironic, freedom of speech, it comes with a cost. War, yeah, these people tryna murder me, yeah. Yeah, the government's scared of me, yeah. Yeah, these people tryna murder me, yeah. And the government's scared of me, scared. That's some third world problems you ain't know, you ain't know. That's some third world problems you ain't know, you ain't know. That's some third world problems you ain't know, you ain't know. That's some third world problems you ain't know.
Mentiras, mentiras, el gobierno te vende mentira. La migra, la policía, la misma porquería. Porque hay niños muriéndose de hambre. Que todo el pueblo se despierten y se levanten adelante. To the kids that be living in the street, and the kids that are wishing to be in a nice old house with a white picket fence, but it's not what it actually seems. Yeah, you're privileged cause their children out there dying there alone. That's some third world problems that you never ever know. La feminicidia y matan a todas las niñas. La culpa no era mía ni dónde estaba ni cómo vestía. La feminicidia y matan a todas las niñas. La culpa no era mía ni dónde estaba ni cómo vestía. What?
Yeah, these people tryna murder me, yeah. And the government's scared of me, yeah. Yeah, these people tryna murder me, yeah. And the government's scared of me, scared. That's some third world problems you ain't know, you ain't know. That's some third world problems you ain't know, you ain't know. That's some third world problems you ain't know, you ain't know. That's some third world problems you ain't know.
Okay, there we go. Where are my subtitles? Hello? Hello? PubNub. Oh, you know what? I copied the thing, but I didn't paste it where it needs to go. That'll do it. Pretty much every time. All right. Now, that should be going. I believe that I should be live on Twitch and on YouTube. There we go. On Twitch and YouTube. But I don't have chat yet. I haven't gotten that. I ran into some figuring out chat complications over the weekend. And now my bot has been disconnected. So, I don't know why or how or when. And I'm hoping that all of the settings that I spent all weekend adjusting work. Code given by your device to link it to your Twitch account. To the code given by, your device. Where's my device? I'll be right back. Oh my goodness. Okay. Go away. I know. It has to be now. Okay. Now what? By your device to link it to the Twitch account. Enter the code given by my device. Never mind. It was trying to make it easy for me, which is why it was confusing. Yes, again. Do it again. Hopefully this isn't a regular thing that I have to do over and over and over and over and over again, where I have to constantly reauthorize the bot. That should be a one-time thing. I should authorize it one time, and it should be connected, and then it should never be a problem that I ever, ever, ever have to think about, right? Where even is it? Okay. Firebot, I can see it. Hopefully I don't have to restart the stream to get it to work, though. Man, that's really irritating. Okay, cool, we're connected. Yay! Why were you not connected in the first place? Yay! It's alright, be less mad at it. It's working now. Just... Sometimes things are just a little bit more difficult. What are you... than they absolutely need to be. Okay, so now I thought that I was going to really be able to get, after 2 months for Twitch, I think. Right, but I just set it up. Last week, I just set this bot up. Last week. But yeah, it's just a new thing. New things have a tendency to elicit an emotional response from me. I don't mind learning new things, but I generally have a difficult experience with it sometimes. But it doesn't matter. Anyways, welcome in everybody. We're having a surprise over the weekend stream because I couldn't stream on Friday when I was scheduled to stream. So here I am. I was hoping to get a lot more of the stuff. Hey, welcome in, Jane. Good to see you. Over there on the other platform. I appreciate the follow, too. And Street Cat Love, I didn't say hi to you. Welcome in, Street Cat Love. It's great to see you. I hope that everybody's doing really well today. And that everybody is having a fantastic one. Or if you're not yet, that you begin to have a fantastic one beginning right now. We'll turn the day around for you all. And, oh, right, I need to check and see if the bot is actually working now. Hey! There we go. And because it didn't get started at the right time, my timers are not going to be started correctly, but whatever. That won't matter. I'm still not sure at all about how the timers work. I'm still figuring all this stuff out. Thank you all for your patience while I'm trying to get stuff figured out. I do have events set for follows and for subs and for bits. And those things do have sound alerts. I don't have anything visual yet for the follow alert. I haven't picked something for that. And I haven't picked out any other sound alerts. I want to add in a few things for subs, people who have subscriptions. There'll be things that you can enter into chat that will get audio, that will trigger audio alerts. And that'll be a lot of fun when we can get that figured out and get that set up. But I would kind of like some input and some help with figuring those things out. What kind of alerts we should use, what kind of triggers, what kind of sounds. I think that should be kind of a community discussion. There we go. That looks better. Okay. Also, I just figured out counters. I just added the counters. But I haven't. I have to add them as sources, as separate sources. So we've got an overlay here that will do stuff. Here, let me show off the stuff. So somebody follows. It's supposed to have triggered an alert. That it didn't. There we go. At least that one worked. That's for sub.
The tendency to inequality resumes.
And I think I'm going to change the size of Parenti, make it more like it was before, just something that pops up in the corner. And I have a different alert for cheers. It's just a sound alert. I need to add something visual for that, but I want something small and subtle for that one. And that's just for any cheer amount. There's some other. There's a 420 and a 69, and what was the other one that I added? But so we've got some of those things going on. And kind of what I'm going to be working on today, again, what I plan to be doing on stream is doing that. Finishing up the events and the counters and getting all that stuff set up for you all. So that the space is ready for us to have a good time, and we can just chill, and it'll be fun, and we can just talk about philosophy again, instead of having to worry about all this stuff. But it's all worth it. This is all worth it. And Street Cat Love, while you're here, we should talk about the divest stuff. Or I've already been added to your lists. I'm not sure what commands I should currently have a BDS command, but it's not. Not yet what I want. This is what I'd had. This is the old one. Oh, and yeah, you can see it. It pops up in chat. It's still only popping up in the Twitch chat. I have not yet figured out how to get my stuff to port over and to affect YouTube chat. That should be a thing too, right? Or at very least, there will be a place that I can have these kinds of... well, I can't give you an example without... because I still haven't figured out how I'm going to put these in. Hey, Street Cat Love is over on the other side. Excellent. Good. Good. That's kind of cool. Let's see what options I have here for YouTube. And I think they have Nightbot. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's right. And I want to say that I have a Nightbot. I still haven't looked into it. I meant to look that up. I thought that I had at some point had a Nightbot account. When I was still using Streamlabs, I think I was also using Nightbot. And I believe that also works with the Discord too, which is kind of cool. How do I... Oh, there's still so many things that I don't know. Yeah, do I want to change... Do I want to close this out? Maybe not. I need that. I need to figure out how to get chat to show up. I did last stream. Hey, look at that. I've already got the thing from last stream. So I've got a YouTube one. YouTube can, I can see YouTube's chat. And I can't capture that. I could capture this here. Bam. To there. And this should be paused anyway. So it's not taken up. Because this is going to slow me down. Hey, come on. Come on. I need you to... Yeah, there you go. Thanks for the cooperation, Twitch. Pause. And hey, that's one of my announcements is popping up. Okay, so those are working out fine. Good. We're looking pretty good so far. I pop this out here. Like that. And then we're going to close this. No, I'm not going to close it because I feel like that's a risk. This is a widget that I have depended on for quite a while and I've been using for a while and I don't want to just... That's not at all what I wanted you to do. We'll leave it behind the other widget. It won't be in the way. And now I can copy this and then paste it. And then I'll have thing 2. Duplicate. To make us thing 2. You've got the cutest emote, Street Cat Love. Sliding in. Yeah, so while I'm doing this, I should probably have a video pulled up. I've got one. No, I don't. No, I didn't do that. I meant to have more time before stream while the music was playing, and then I encountered technical difficulties with the bot, and then I ended up having to close it out and open it up all fresh, and then having to relog in. And so I didn't do the other things that I would ordinarily have been doing while I was getting ready for stream. So there we go. This is something that I talked about on the last stream that I wanted to watch. Oh, and I need me to be here too. There I am. And then while this is playing, I will be moving stuff around and making changes to the setup. But I'm done with the difficult, stressful things that I really need to focus on. Mostly what I was stressed about last stream was just getting stream elements off, right? Getting rid of that, getting me to the point where it was no longer showing up anywhere on the stream. And so we've gotten that accomplished. So now that that's done, I can be a little bit more chill, or I feel a little bit more chill about the process. So I will happily entertain philosophical questions, or if anybody has any comments or things that they want to talk about, or if you just want to ask me any questions anyways. Welcome in, Matt. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. We've got the usual suspects in. Jane, Street Cat Love, and Matt, and a few other lurkers too, which is good. Good. We appreciate you hanging out and lurking, even if you don't say hi. It's still good to see you, nonetheless. And okay, so I'm gonna play this video. Plastic Pills is this is a hey, welcome in, Nisa. Good to see you. Just subscribed for 2 months. I didn't see the, oh, that's why there we go. There's the alert. Yay. Thank you so much, Nisa. Welcome in, and thank you for another sub. I really appreciate your support. I appreciate your subs. That's awesome. It is Praxis. And it is such a cool emote. Even if I do say so myself. Usually I'm not big on floating my own boat, but the Emma Goldman's pretty good. But that's just because she's cool. That's not, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything to earn that coolness. Emma Goldman just is that cool. But again, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. And for giving me the opportunity to test out the sound alert. Which did not work the way that it was supposed to over here, because I haven't pasted the source. Paste, and it's a reference, not a duplicate. And so now that should work over here. I should be able to replay that event. Yeah. There we go.
As long as capitalism remains, the tendency to inequality resumes.
And that's a little bit quiet still too, isn't it? I thought that it would come through louder. That's interesting. The logos for you all show up very differently over on my Firebot. And I'm not sure where Firebot is pulling those logos from. I'll need to do some more research to figure that out, huh? But another reason why I wanted to stream over the weekend is because I think that some of our viewers are people who work 5 days a week, and I thought maybe it would be a good idea for me to try out a weekend stream, and I think that might be I think that might have to be a thing, that I make weekend streams regular, maybe not every week, but at least every other week kind of thing. If some of you have a hard time making it for the regular streams because it interferes with your work week, I completely understand. It would be a good reason for me to have weekend streams. So yeah, I think that's something I'm considering. So, but I'm going to play this video. I'm just really happy you're all here. I'm just having a good time. And this is, I don't know. I felt awfully stressed about this for a while, for the last week. And, today I just feel like I'm not so stressed. You all are here. That's all I care about. You all are here. You all showed up, and that's awesome. I appreciate that. So, anyway, just show up during work. Good. That's also praxis. If you can, yeah, that's what it is. I was overthinking, and now I'm past the point of overthinking, and I'm just no longer overthinking. It's just fun. So, speaking of fun, while we're watching this video, think about if there are any kinds of particular sound alerts that you think would be appropriate for the channel, or other kinds of triggers. So things that we talk about kind of often that pop up but aren't going to be constantly, there are some things that we use too often that would kind of bombard the channel, would make it difficult for us to have a conversation. But, Zatchap has certain kinds of triggers. So if people mention Biden, for example, if you type Biden into chat, it'll automatically, there's something that happens that shows Biden's face, and there's something that triggers. And so I'm thinking about using those kind of things. Firebot is really very flexible. There's a lot that you can do with it. It's flexible almost to a fault. Like, really, that you can customize it so much is almost too difficult. But Alan Watts, that's a really good idea. To add Alan Watts. Don't have that one. Also, David Graeber is another one that I was thinking of. Alan Watts is a really great suggestion. All right. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna play the video, so I can go back to editing some of the stuff. But feel free to stop me, interrupt me, ask me a question, or to have philosophical conversations amongst yourselves. And I'll just be here.
Well, it's a weird one out there, folks. America enters its uncanny, surreal stage.
Accessible childcare? Sounds to me like accessible child trafficking.
Schumer is a Palestinian as far as I'm concerned.
This is it. We're here. And it's funny, it's terrifying, it's very stupid, but it is a great show. There is no denying that. There was once a cult of the sky, a firmament simulation, and no matter where you looked up from, we shared the same vision. But every so often, the sky starts to fall. Ow. That's when all the cults need to flee the secret societies, go to the catacombs and the caves, and their realities are no longer shared. They no longer interact. Of course, we are well on our way on this path, wherever it leads. But I wanted to ask, when did that old sky, our old sky, first crack? Let's not bury the lead. America went insane, or started this version of its insanity in the year of our Lord, 1905. And this is the man responsible. Now, he's indirectly, if only partially, if we're being fair, but partially at least responsible for millions of deaths this century on behalf of his clients. I mean, he's no Kissinger or McNamara, but he worked for the Nazis. And that aside, I would like to try this man, not for his crimes against humanity, but for his crimes against reality. I know America. I feel like I know America, at least qua image. And it was really important once. This was an image that meant something, that was largely held in common. And I'm not American, technically, but I learned what America was supposed to be from movies, TV shows, and specifically the movies back when we all sat around one happy campfire together and told stories about the shapes we saw in the sky. So, presidents in 90s movies, they're a stand-in for what America believes about itself, and they share some important traits. They're men, white, usually. Okay, they're white every time but once. They're about mid-50s, not too partisan, and I don't know if this is important, maybe it is, but they're never fat. And overall, they're competent, maybe a little gruff, but in the end, you can count on them to make the tough choices for the right reasons. And of course, they give pretty good speeches about, courage, unity, whatever.
We will no longer tolerate and we will no longer be afraid.
If you want to talk about character and American values, fine. Just tell me where and when, and I'll show up.
It is only prudent that we now take cautionary steps to ensure the continuation of our way of life.
We are faced with the very gravest of challenges. The Bible calls this day Armageddon.
We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
90s movie presidents represent what I shall call imaginary America.
Biden is such a loser. Can we all just agree that Biden is the worst? Is just such what an embarrassment. That anybody would have ever been like, yeah, I'm proud that that's my president. I just can't imagine that in any universe. It's sad. It's sad, actually. Anyway.
An America that beats the odds by banding together.
There are times when we're 50 states and there are times when we're one country and have national needs.
And in imaginary America, we may be different people, but God damn it, we live under the same firmament.
And the way I know this is that Florida didn't fight Germany in World War II.
That we have never been just a collection of individuals or a collection of red states and blue states.
And this America is what the professional opinion-having class still believe. Reality America, conversely, it's not like that. People haven't, well, I guess it's not really sorted out fully yet, but it is at least a spawning pool of cults, real conspiracy, fake news, fake history, fake Antarctic Nazis, and maybe real Nazis? ? And there's real crisis and reality crisis, fake democracy, reality democracy, simulation, and the end of the hyperreal. That's about right. Do I have that right? Imaginary America, hyperreal America, reality America. You don't have to believe me on that. You can actually you can actually truly believe whatever the hell you want. But from where I'm sitting, it looks something like that.
What makes America the greatest country in the world?
So, I want to do my taxonomy here before we get to the trial. Imaginary America is governed by actors who believe in the people.
Why is America
Not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
You're saying
yes.
This gets me every time. It'll never not get me. It's so
We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy.
Hyperreal America is governed by people who believe that imaginary America is reality.
Sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws, struck down laws for moral reasons.
This gets me every time. Whereas reality America is overseen by this man who believes in, for the most famous person in the world, it is very unclear what he believes in. I would say it's something in the realm of ratings and fame and positive public opinion. He will always be a game show host who played a rich guy on TV. And whether or not he is a rich guy matters far less than that he played one on a reality TV show.
Well, the conceit of the show was that he would be a successful businessman, and the show, I didn't produce the show, but I did produce the promos for the show. We effectively made him seem like a great businessman when he was really a small businessman that had a bunch of different LLCs, and if they went bankrupt, he could protect them. Wow. And to a large degree, it was a creation for a TV show. And we were very good at it. And I know it's very 2017 to describe him in those terms, but I maintain stubbornly that these are the most important of his qualifications. Compared to what's coming next, it's actually quite comforting to know that he doesn't believe in anything. There's nothing more terrifying than belief. Please give me simulated belief any day of the week. Okay, we have to remember this is a trial for crimes.
And so there's a conversation about belief that I don't know if we've all had on the stream. And maybe it would be a good time for me to pause here and talk a little bit about the terrifying thing that is belief. While I'm over on this other page anyway. Because the thing that's important to remember about belief is that it doesn't matter whether or not it's true. Whether or not something is true is irrelevant for its importance in having direct material impact on your life. The classic example that is often given is Zizek talks about Zizek talks about it, but lots of philosophers talk about it. Talk about the characters in Othello. One of the characters believes that his wife is having an affair with somebody else in the story. And the truth is not the focus point. Whether or not there is an affair going on, the Othello is going to it's the other person, not Othello. I think is going to act pathologically as though the affair is real and is going on. Whether or not there is an affair doesn't matter. In the end of the day, the person believes that they are, and so their actions are pathologically associated with this true belief about the world that this person has. And this is the same thing. I think that we have brought this up. It's the reason why Christians believing that abortion is immoral is the reason why you don't have access to the health care that you need, that your rights are inhibited by laws which protect fetuses, even if those fetuses are already dead and are not going to be viable. Those fetuses have more rights than you if you have a uterus. And that is a reality because of people's belief. So when we talk about what's real for people, or what's effectively true, what is practically true, is far more important, far more meaningful for us than what is actually true. And so this is the philosophy has had a lot of this time that it spent trying to figure out what's true in the real world. And after Hegel, one of the big takeaways that everybody in philosophy begins to realize is that what is objectively true about the world really doesn't matter anyway. Even if we could figure it out, even if we could prove it, it still wouldn't matter, because it still wouldn't change people's belief. And people will still believe what they want to believe, and they will still act in ways that are informed by that belief. There are literal directions, Matt says, to administer an abortion in the Bible. Christians will believe anything except that the scripture actually says. Yes, it's one of those silly things that I heard from a student in my classroom once, that the reason why abortion isn't mentioned in the Bible, despite the fact that Matt is correct and that it is, that the student informed me that the reason why abortion wasn't mentioned in the Bible is because abortion was invented after the Bible. And my response was, well, a God that is forever, yesterday, today, and forever, would already have known that we would have invented the thing. First off, fundamentally, functionally, the argument that you've used doesn't cohere with what is true about your belief in God, that God is eternal and all-knowing. Because if God is eternal and all-knowing, then God already knew that abortion was going to be invented before any humans ever walked on the earth. Necessarily. And not to mention that the oldest accounts of oldest written accounts of abortive practices predate the Bible by more than 1,000 years. Actually, by quite a lot more than 1,000 years. It's almost 2,000 years. I don't remember exactly how long it is, but it's almost 2,000 years. So the practice of abortion certainly predates the Bible and is literally mentioned in the Bible, though some people question as to whether that was actually an abortive practice or if it was something that priests were doing to hoodwink their population, because omnipotence should work like that. If time and space and reality work the way that we understand them, then an all-knowing God knows everything that will happen before it's happened, right? Necessarily. It can't not be. And this is because God can't change. God is perfect. And this is from St. Thomas Aquinas. So I'm not even making up some BS about God. Right? St. Thomas Aquinas, one of the most celebrated know about God philosophy people, has argued that God is perfect, therefore incapable of change. You can't make God angry. It's not possible, because God is and cannot become something else, because God is perfect. Something that is perfect couldn't be any better. It can't be any different, because then it would cease to be perfect. It has to maintain that same perfectness all the time through all times. And so for that God to if God is omnipotent and all-powerful and in all times, through all times, must know everything in all times, must actually be participating in those times that we have yet to experience. And again, this is all from St. Thomas Aquinas. This is that's how God works. If God works at all, it must necessarily be the case that, anyways. Yeah, long tangent, but I think that it was worth it for us to reiterate that idea about belief. Also, this brought me over to the other screen so I could start playing around with some of this stuff. But now it's time for us to turn back to the video. Yeah, I actually love St. Thomas Aquinas too. Quite a bit, especially for somebody who is as non-Christian and non-theistic as I am. It might seem like a surprise, but St. Thomas Aquinas wouldn't take issue with me at all. If St. Thomas Aquinas was alive right now, him and I could be friends, actually. Even though I'm trans, I don't think that St. Thomas Aquinas would have a problem with trans people or with my transness. I've read a lot of St. Thomas Aquinas. I've never met anybody. Well, that's not true. Several of my instructors when I was in my graduate program were much better experts in St. Thomas Aquinas than I am. But aside from that handful of experts who were in my graduate program, I don't know anybody who knows more about St. Thomas Aquinas than I do. And I don't think that St. Thomas Aquinas would be anti-trans at all and would have no problem with me. We would be friends. And St. Thomas Aquinas would probably have a lot more problem with a lot of the quote-unquote Christian religions that are around today. But that's, you know, I don't know that with any authority. I just believe that. I could do a dedicated stream to St. Thomas Aquinas. That's one of the few philosophers, like, so Aristotle, St. Thomas Aquinas, Immanuel Kant, I can usually do off the hip. I can just talk about them and talk about them and talk about them because I've read them so extensively, I've read them so much. But yeah, I could do a dedicated stream to St. Thomas Aquinas. And it'll be about challenging faith. And I'll make some kind of really angering clickbaity title. That'll be fun. That'll be good times. All right, back to the video.
Against reality. So here, I claim that America is insane now, but it's always also been a little bit insane. But it's been insane in different ways. Puritan frontierism, insane. California, end of history.
I am God.
Insane. But this insanity case is particular. The people who cry the most, you know, usually they're the ones with the most to lose.
Losing your job is not the worst thing that can happen. The worst thing that can happen is that you let a moment in time and in history go without challenging it.
And right now, it's these professional opinion-having classes. They are frankly shocked about what America is becoming. Yeah, it's insane to them that reality America no longer looks like imaginary America, like TV America. So they like to try to scare themselves by jumping in front of the mirror and yelling, boo.
I'm a historian of totalitarianism. A massive purge at the FBI.
We sacrificed, we cared about our neighbors, we put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great big things made ungodly.
This speech was for them, and it still makes them cry. I mean, Dumb and Dumber. So in our taxonomy of Americas, the Americas overlap. The hyperreal, imaginary, the reality TV show. And this is because, clearly, America's not so much a thing as it is an ongoing media product. In America, politicians don't govern, they message. I mean, it's these flapping mouths that are everywhere. They're concerned with strategy, arguing about strategy on Twitter, maybe going to strategy meetings, then blaming messaging when it fails. Yeah, they don't blame politics. They blame messaging. And this, today I'll tell you why, this is to be expected. Because there is a guy, there's a guy who engineered this America, this hyper-real America. He engineered messaging. Imaginary America, well, it's in trouble at the moment. The old scene is now obscene. This is a pretty phenomenal show. Look at this all-star cast. America's governor of health is a crank who's famous for chainsawing the head off a whale and strapping it to his car. And he sounds like a Bluetooth speaker that you dropped in the bathtub.
Last year, the Biden administration urged healthy children to get yet another COVID shot despite the lack of any clinical data.
I know there's not much prosecution happening here yet, but I missed a lot. And it's too fun. It's too good. Next up, we have the education secretary. She who is responsible for either the development of America's intellectual future or its destruction and dismantling. Anyway, great. She's a TV wrestling character.
But let me tell you exactly, Linda McMahon, who you truly are.
Oh, no. No! What is Stone Cold?
This is the kind of thing that writers couldn't make up. Some got close, and they noticed this important point, that wrestling is the perfect analog for the United States of America, because wrestling is the kind of thing that the fans believe in while knowing that it isn't real. It depends on a schizoid reality. So this is just like contemporary America in that wrestling is a simulation that we must at the same time pretend is not one. So it's a simulation, but it's less than that. It's something which pretends to be a simulation. This is how wrestling has sold tickets, and it's how America has decided it's going to sell tickets. Now this guy is falling again. So pretending to be a simulation, that is chaos. That means that the world is empty and without form, and anything can happen all of a sudden. Because simulations, they can get along just fine. Wrestling still sells tickets. The problem is that this simulation is failing.
Dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if
there's not enough RAM, it's losing momentum, and it turns out this simulation was necessary for this image to keep functioning. I don't know. Who could have told you that? So now America's caught in a spiral, but we don't really know what's at the center. Your guess is as good as mine. It's on its way towards something, but there's no way to tell what that is, maybe. So there's a big problem with America's class of professional opinion havers. You know, the people that write these kinds of books and these kinds of articles. They're supposed to be experts on this, but they don't have any clue what they're talking about. They believe that America just lost its way. Something came along and ruined good America. Trump ruined it. Corporate greed ruined it. If they're smart, they'll say that Iraq ruined it. And if they're stupid, they'll say that individualism and immorality ruined it. Or, of course, what everyone agrees on is that the internet ruined it, or social media. Wait. Polarization. They will never get tired of that one. Now, come on. I mean, this is profoundly naive. None of these things have actually done any harm to real America. It's just done harm to their cultural position. The harm is totally imaginary. Now, the real harm done to America, I mean, that at least started over 100 years ago. But this hyperreal America that they want to live in is inspired by imaginary America, which was a simulation that booted up over 100 years ago by a guy whom you've probably never heard of unless you follow my Patreon page. To get to him, we have to hit this rewind button here. So,
Which character is a very important question. One small step for man.
here we are in 1905. This is a tale of material conditions, as all good tales are. We arrive next to this underappreciated entity, who's the father of public relations and mind control. Who is it? Who's the secret puppet master controlling the nation? No. Oh, what? Because he's Jewish? Isn't it? That's what you were thinking that. No, it was this dapper Anglo-Saxon. Yes, Bernays has the title Father of Public Relations, but although he was excellent at his job, I did not say that he's excellent at mind control because he is Jewish. You thought that. He started 14 years after this guy started his firm. Now, the father of mind control is actually decidedly not Jewish. This guy's father wrote the introduction to a book called Anglo-Saxon Supremacy, or Race Contributions to Civilization. So a good start here. Look at this table of contents. Yeah, this is our hero's father, James Weidman Lee. Let me introduce you to Ivy Bedletter Lee. Ivy Lee, I think, goes into the category of profoundly malevolent people who would never have considered that they did anything wrong. Like a modern Pandora's box. So what did he do that was so catastrophic for humanity? This is what I hope you're wondering, because he doesn't look so bad, does he? No, he's just a...
Okay. I am at a point where I am gonna try something, I think. The problem is I don't know what I'm gonna try. I don't even know how to try. The problem that I ran into previously with my chats is that Social Stream Ninja was not able to find both of them at the same time, but I was able to get that to work, finally. So I have auto activate. Do I leave that on? I don't know. I have them both active in... What is that? Okay. Flow, remote, sessions. How do I make the two into one? Hey, this will give me an overlay. Will it? Will this give me an overlay? No. Export. Okay, so I've got my sources. Event flow editor. Oh, this is a new thing. From source, from user. Oh my goodness, I've got no idea what I'm looking at, y'all. I'm just looking at this program and just looking at it. Current sessions, default, export current session. No, that's gonna save it. Yeah, I don't know what that does. What's the dashboard? What is... Okay, so in the dashboard... There's got to be an output. That's what I'm looking for. Is there's got to be a source output for this to go somewhere, right? To come out in an overlay. How do I get the overlay? Right here. I'm looking right at it. At the top of the screen, it looks like. Social stream dashboard. Yeah, I think that I found it. I think that I found it. No, this is just a blank thing. Oh heck. Yeah, there's got to be something else I'm missing. I don't know what I'm missing. Camera link, OBS link for desktop. Is that what I need? Let's see what happens. Okay. Clearly not, because then I would be looking at... And I'd be looking at something. Welcome back, Street Cat Love. You don't happen to have any experience with Social Stream Ninja, do you? I might need to reach out to some other streamer who has experience with this and get some help, because I cannot figure out how to get the two... Oh, don't close that. How to get the two chats into the same chat. Yeah, I've got both chats pulled up, but that's I don't. I just don't know what to do now that I've got that done. Ah, I could see that. Featured chat overlay. That's the same. Right? Let me try and copy this. So you take the link near the top right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let me try this. No, it's still not showing anything up. Okay. Sources. Beta. Service disabled. Service active. Why was it disabled? Okay. Was it now? Figure a fake message. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for is the doc session. Yeah, it's a doc session. Thank you. That's it looks like that's correct. Overlay default doc customize. Yes. Copy. Try this again. That's already there. No, that looks different than it did, so yeah, it would I don't know why it's not. Trigger a fake test message, and it's not doing anything. Yeah, is that the same link? Featured HTML session equals, yeah, that's the same for both. Huh. So I'm not sure why that's not doing a thing. Service is active. Sources are active. What does this button do? Stop and close? No. Pause and mute. And everybody's chats are still coming, or everybody's, comments are still coming through. Process this. 2 messages. Process this session. What are you doing with the process? Loaded, background, event flow. Okay. See, and I think that I need to put something in the event flow. I think that that's what it is. User has donation actions. Not gate, or gate, and gate. Okay. No, that's not what we want. I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch a tutorial on this or something to figure this out. I thought that I could figure this thing out on stream and it wouldn't be that big of a deal and take that much time, but that has turned out to not be the case. So, and that's okay. We've got the chats up that we need. I would really like to have merged the chats, but we'll do this. Will go under the things. Oh, and I should go back to watching the video, huh? Let's go back to watching the video so you all don't have to just watch me try to figure this out. I think I've got it figured out. We're going to be on this screen anyways. So we'll edit this screen over here. Good. Let that go away.
PR man, but his clients, yeah, they directly murdered millions of people between them. And yeah, I'll admit, it helps to have the Nazis in there because they inflate your stats, like Scottie Pippen. Obviously, the Rockefellers, they were good at getting blood on their hands, but, you know, he also worked for the Nazis. Yeah, moving on from the client's casualty list, I want to still put, like I said, Ivy Lee on trial for crimes against reality. He changed the world in ways he could never have even foreseen. As you now know, Ivy Lee is the father of public relations, what we call public relations. And it's called that because it sounds much better than its other name, which is propaganda. PR is a rebrand for propaganda. And propaganda, of course, has a very long history. But in every case, it's used by a small insular group to steer or manipulate the action or inaction of the larger group. So mass media, right? PR, propaganda, advertising. It's euphemized now as messaging, but more or less, it's all the same thing. An inner circle secretly controls how everyone else sees the world and thinks. Now, I know what you're thinking, and no, it's not them. The inner circle here, Ivy Lee's clients, are corporations and industrialists, what we knew back in the day as capitalists. Now, why? We know why. Why would corporations hire PR firms to tend to their public image? Let's just say some of them were doing they were killing people. Okay, they're killing people. Some by accident, some by negligence and indifference, and yeah, some on purpose. Particularly, domestically anyway, their victims were striking workers. And anti-striking is the binding thread between all of Lee's clients, including the Nazis. And we'll get back to that. But think back to social studies. Who ruled America in the 19th century? It's the age of early Wall Street, railroads, steel, and oil. And they are all clients of Ivy Lee. And, you know, robber barons didn't like to be called robber barons. This is one of their first PR moves, is to change robber barons to the captains of industry. You know, we call them job creators. Mr. Ivy Lee was one of the first to switch sides in an ongoing conflict that's been resolved now, more or less. He started at the New York Times and then jumped over to be the mouthpiece of the billionaires of the day, you know, adjusting for inflation. Most importantly, the Rockefeller family. And he convinced many of his old journalist pals at the New York Times and elsewhere to join him in starting his own firm. So this conflict was between the big businesses on one side and journalists and the truth on the other. You know, like all the president's men, digging through the dirt to find the truth. Now, back in the 1900s and the 1890s, say, investigative journalists, which is what we would call them, they were called muckrakers. I think a president nicknamed this and it stuck. Muckraker is halfway between a compliment and an insult. And muckraker journalists, they were at this time peskily exposing the shady practices of these captains of industry. Like,
and I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for them